scanner, a new one that they've got, which can monitor minute chemical changes within disease cells and virtually as they take place. All-seeing eyes to give a total readout of all that ails you. Now, God also has a scanner, and God is scanning you tonight. He's scanning your heart and your mind and your soul and your spirit, and He sees the spiritual need in God. Nobody is ever going to be at the judgment and say, Lord, I didn't do that. That scanner has been scanning from the moment you were conceived in your mother's womb. The computers have been running. The motion pictures have been taken, not only of your deeds, but of your thoughts. Now, the Lord's laws, if you've even broken one law one time, He says you've broken them all. For whosoever shall keep the whole law and yet offend in one point is guilty of all, wrote James in the 2nd chapter and 10th verse. You see, the devil, there's another personage in the universe called the devil. 74% of American university students said in a poll last year that they believed in the devil. That's a far cry from 30 years ago when only about 27% said they believed in the devil. We read in Revelation 13 that late in human history, as man moves toward Armageddon, the devil will come down and possess a beast of a man, and he will be called upon to make war against the human race. He's called in the Bible the great beast or the Antichrist. And the scripture says the way of peace they have.
The potentials of these new discoveries are followed to the ultimate. The potential is staggering to the imagination. Electronic conductor, artificial stimulation of the cells can be achieved and behavior controlled. The subject can be made to hate, love, be joyful or sad, anxious or at ease. Experiments on animals reveal that a peaceful cat can become a bundle of fury, claws out, hair bristling, eyes dilated, ready to attack anything. The ESB experiments brought out an interesting fact, that the brain fibers which control love and hate are only narrowly separated, and that either emotion can be stimulated by a small movement of the electronic impulses. All this implies that with these new findings, it may be possible for an individual to be preset and controlled by a master controller. And the once human being, thus controlled, would be the cheapest and most efficient of machines to create and operate. All this is fascinating, but anyone can see that it also poses tremendous and terrifying dangers. 50 years ago, some scientific-minded people scoffed at the idea of a Superman or the Antichrist controlling the minds of the people. The question is, who will control it? How can we be assured that it will remain in the control of sane, benevolent men? The New Testament clearly states that at the time of the end, the New Testament clearly states that at the time of the end, a diabolical personality or system called the Antichrist will emerge to dominate the minds of men and dominate the entire world scene. Are we now on the threshold of Antichrist? We may be. Many of the world developments indicate that we may be plunging toward Antichrist would appear. Through history,
Ah!